knock out your homework for 5-1. In exercise 1 through 6, it says tell whether the ordered pair is a solution of the system of linear equations. When I do this, the first thing I want to do is see if these numbers are actually going to work for these equations. Over here it says x plus y equals 8. So I'm going to replace x with 2. I'm going to replace y with 6. And 2 plus 6 does equal 8, so that checks out. On the second set, I see that I have 3x, so that would be 3 times 2. It says minus y, which is 6. Well, 3 times 2 is 6, so this is 6 minus 6. And that does equal 0. So that checks out. So this would be a set that works for this linear set. Because an ordered pair of 2 and 6 is a solution for each equation, it is a solution for the linear system. All right, let's go to number 3. You have number 2 to do. I'm going to go ahead once again and plug these numbers in. This time y is over here, so I'll put 3. Remember, this is always xy over here, and that would be negative 7 times, well, x is negative 1. And then it says minus 4. All right, so let me just bring this work. Actually, I'm going to work above it. If I work above it, I see 3 is going to be equal to negative 7 times negative 1 is 7. And this is minus 4. And 7 minus 4 is 3. So 3 does equal 3. Now down here, we're going to place y with 3. This is 8 times x. Remember, this is negative 1. It says plus 5. So a negative times a positive is a negative 8. And negative 8 plus 5 is negative 3. And that does not equal 3. So that does not work. This is not a solution of each of the equations. It is so it's not a solution of the linear system. The ordered pair negative 1 and 3 is a solution for the first equation, but not a solution for the second equation. So negative 1 and 3 is not a solution of the linear system. Let's move on. You have number 4 to do. I'm going to do number 5. Once again, we're just going to fill in the blanks. X at this time is 1/2, and y is negative 2. So this is 6 times 1/2 plus 5 times negative 2. And this all has to equal negative 7. Well, I know half of 6 is 3. And a positive times a negative, well, that's going to be a negative 10. I know 3 minus 10 is negative 7. So negative 7 does equal negative 7. So that makes this set correct. Let's go to the next set. I'm going to replace x with 1/2 again. And a minus 4 times negative 2. That has to equal negative 8. Well, I know half of 2 is 1. And I know negative 4 times negative 2, that's going to be a positive 8. And now 1 plus 8 is going to give us, 9. And 9 does not equal negative 8. This is not a solution set for this set of linear equations, okay? Because the ordered pair 1/2 and negative 2 is not a solution of equation 2, it is not a solution of the linear system. You have number 6 to do. Moving on. Now it's saying use the graphs to solve the system. So if I'm using this graph, I realize that these two lines are meeting at this point. So that means, since these are going by units of 1, this is 1, and this would be -3. So that means the set that would work would be 1 and -3. The solution is 1 and -3. Number 8 is for you to do. Number 9 says solve the system by graphing. This time they want me to graph. All right. So I'm going to put this graph over here. Let me make a big one here, hoping that it works out well for me. And if I do, I see the first one is going through 7. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? And it's going down -1/1, right? Because that's what this slope is, -1/1. So I'm going to have to go and put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that means it's going straight from here down 1 every time to here. Ooh, that's kind of ugly. Let me try to make it a little bit straighter. That's a little better. Now the next one says I'm going through 1, but it's a positive 1/1. So that means I'm going, let's see, here, and then 2 at 2, and then 3 at, let's see, 3 at 3, and 4 would be here. So I'm thinking this is going to be about, well, 3.5. But remember, we started at 1, so I have to correct myself there. We started at 1 and did that. So yeah, I almost made a little boo-boo there. I'm going to erase these dots. Since I started at 1, I'll be going up 1 and over 1. That'll put me at 1 and 2, then 2 and 3, then 3 and 4. And I think that's where we're going to hit it, at 3 and 4. That's what I would guess. So I'm going to put up here 3, 4. And let's see if I got that right or not. I'm not sure if I am. Oh, look at that, 3 and 4. Okay. And the way to check this is we're going to plug these numbers in here. So I'm going to go ahead and check it. Just, well, they did it right here, didn't they? They said that y equals -x plus 7. They replaced y with 4, x with 3, so that's a -3. 7 minus 3 is 4. That worked. And over here, they replaced y with 4 and x with 3, and 1 plus 3 does equal 4. All right, 10 is yours to do. We're solving this system by graphing again. Okay. Let's see. There we go. This one's going up at 2, but it's also going up by 1/3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that's going to allow me to go ahead and break these up into thirds. All right, those were my big numbers. Put the line a little farther to indicate they were my big numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm choosing to do that because I know my second one's going to make me go at 5 there. But it's also going to be making me go up, right? So I'm going to have to take this and go up some more to 6 and probably even to 7, I imagine. All right. And the reason I'm doing this is because these are positive slopes. I know it's going to be going up, right? So let's go ahead and look at this next one. This one says 1 1/3. This one says 2 1/3. I can see I'm going to be in for a little bit of a mess here. because it's really going to meet way up there. This is a smaller slope than this one is. So that's really going to go ahead and take a while to catch up to this one. Let's go ahead. In fact, I think it's going to be going backwards more than forward. Let's go ahead and check that out and see if I'm right. So the first one's going to be starting at 2, and then it goes up 1 and over 3, right? So I can put this at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to go down over here to 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to go with the negative side, 1, 2, and 3. We're just going to see where this pans out. I might not even be in the right ballpark. But the first one says I start at 2, and I go up 1 and over 3. All right? So that means I'm going to go up 1 and over 1, 2, 3. Okay? So I'm starting at 2, and I'm going this way. Wow, okay. That tells me a lot right there. Which means I'm going to go down 1 and over 3. That's going to put me somewhere over here. All right? Let's look at where this one goes. This one says I start at 5, I'm going down 2 and over 3. So if I start at 5 and I go down 2, 1, 2, actually I go up 2 and over 3, 1, 2, and over, let's see, 1, 2, 3. That's going to put me here. And then, see, I go through my starting point 5, and I go down 2 and over 3 this way. I still haven't made a connection, so I am in the wrong ballpark altogether. I'm going to have to redo my graph. That's why I hate doing it like this. But I don't have any choice at this point. Okay, so now I know that they're going to meet in a quadrant way down over here. So I'm going to bring this over here and bring this over here. And we'll put this at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to put this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Over here, 1, 2, 3. And over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right? And I'm going to put these numbers over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll put this as negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, and negative 6. Let's see where that pans us out. Now remember the first one I said started at 2, right? And then it went up 1 and over 3. So that puts this one over here, which means my line is going here, and it's going to go down 1 and over 3, which will put it at negative 3, right? And 1, or yeah. And then it's going to go down 1 and over 3 again. So this was at 1, negative, yeah, 1, it's going to go down, and 1, 2, 3. That's going to put me right here. Okay? And who knows, we might have to go another 3 down all the way to negative 9. I'm not sure, but if we do, that'll bring us down here at negative 1 as well. Okay? The second one was at 5, and we go up 2 and over 3, which would bring me at, oops, sorry, I shouldn't have done that. That'll put me at 7. And that would put me about right here. And now my slope is going like that. And then remember, I'm going to go down 2 and over 3 again. 1, 2, and over 3 would be about right here. That matches pretty good with my line. And then I'd have to go down 2 again to 2, right? No, this was at 3, so at 1, and then over 3 again. 1, 2, 3. That'll put me here. And now down 2 again. 1, 2, and over 1, 2, 3. Aha, right there where I thought. Okay, so that means these two are going to meet at -9 and -1. Now we're going to plug these numbers in to see if they work. Well, if y, let's see, if y is -1, will it equal 1/3 of x, which is -9, plus 2? Let's check that out. First of all, this -1 comes down, and 1/3 of -9 would be -3, and then -3 plus 2 would be -1. So that checks out. Now let's try this other one. If y was -1, will it equal 2/3 of -9? Plus 5. Well, once again, this would be -1 equal to 2/3 of 9, or -9 would be -6. And that would be -6 plus 5, and -6 plus 5 is -1. And that checks out. So we got the right numbers. So it would be -9 and -1. And there we go, -9 and -1. All right, let's go ahead. You have number 12 to do. I'm going to try number 13, solving by graphing again. Okay. This time we're going to have to move some numbers around. Remember, I need everything in y equals mx plus b form. So I have to have y by itself. Over here I see that I've got 9x plus 3y minus 3, or equals -3, excuse me. I'm going to have to go ahead and bring x over here, which means I'll minus 9x from both sides. That's going to give me 3y is equal to -9x minus 3. Now I'm going to have to get rid of this 3. I'm going to divide everything by 3. That's going to give me y, right? 3 divided by 3 is y. And then -9 divided by 3 would be -3x. And -3 divided by 3 would be -1. So that's one of my equations. Now let's go ahead and look at the next one. This one I have 2x minus y is equal to -4. I'm going to go ahead and minus 2x from both sides. This is going to give me, a negative y. I really hate that. Negative y equals -2x minus 4. Now this time, I'm going to divide everything by, or I could even multiply everything to -1. Either way. All right. If I do this, this will give me y equals 2x plus 4. All right, let's go ahead and work this out. My first one is going to be on the negative side with -1. It's going to be below, right? And then it's going to be going down. This one's going to be a positive and going up. So I'm thinking it's going to meet on the back side again. I'm going to put my graph kind of like this. And we're going to put the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and I'm just going to keep everything real simple. Put this as -5, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll say this is +5. Over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is -5 on the y-axis, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the x-axis. All right, so the first one says -1. That'll be here. And then it says -3, and that's -3 over 1, which means it goes down 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 1. Which means on the other side it goes up 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 1. That puts my line something like this. Now I'm going to go up 3 and over 1 more time. I'm going to work on my other one just to see where this is going to lead me. This starts me at 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a positive slope of 2, and that's 2 over 1, which means I go up 2 and over 1, which means I'm going to go down 2 and over 1 over here, and that line will be like this. And I can see now they're going to cross at -1 and 2. -1 and 2. So now let's go ahead and plug them into our equations to see if they'll work. When I do, well, I can always use the form that I have over here. If y is 2, and it equals -3 times -1 minus 1. Well, -3 times -1 is 3, and 3 minus 1 is 2. So this one works. Let's go to the next one. If y is 2 and x is -1, this is 2 times -1 plus 4. Well, 2 times -1 is -2. And -2 plus 4 is 2. And that works. So -1 and 2 will be my answer for 13. -1 and 2. And there's our checks, just like we did. All right, you have number 14 to do. Oh, okay, so now we have this set here, and it says we've got, well, once again, we're going to take this and move some letters around. And that's going to give me -4x over here. That gives me a -4y equals -4x plus 22. Well, now I can go ahead and divide everything by -4. That leaves me with y equals x. And this is where it gets tricky because 4 doesn't go into 22. So let's see, 22, let's try over here. 22 divided by 4. We know that's going to be 5.5, I'm pretty sure, right? Because it goes into that, 5 times 4 is 20, left with 2 over, and then that'll be a decimal there. 5.5 has to be my answer. So this is plus, well, actually it'd be a minus because we're dividing it by there. So minus 5.5. The second one just says y is equal to negative 5.5. All right, so let's go ahead and graph these. If I graph these, and I really don't have to graph it too much, because this one over here says the starting point, right, was 5.5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means right about here, 5.5. All right, and it has a slope of 1, right? So basically it's just going up 1 and over 1. So if this is 1, that's a positive, yeah, it'll be about right there. And then on the other side, it'll be about right here. But the kicker is on this one, it says y is negative 5.5. Oh, wow, I didn't realize it was negative 5.5. I totally drew my starting point incorrectly. Sorry about that, guys. So we're going to have to go ahead and put this to negative 5.5, which is going to be down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then if this is 6, this would be negative 5.5. And it's going up by 1 over 1. So if it goes up 1 over 1, this would be a point. And if it goes down 1 over 1, this would be a point. Okay? But the other one over here says y is always negative 5.5, which means it's going to continue to go horizontally across, which means the only possible answer is negative 5.5. All right? So x will be 0, and y will be negative 5.5. 0, negative 5.5. All right, 6 units for you to do. I'm going to go to number 17. Oh, and I didn't have to do that. Looks like I'm at number 21. Describe and correct the error, okay? It says, well, it looks to me like 2 and 3 are answers. It says the solution of the linear system, y equals 2 minus 1. So this would be 2x minus 1. So it's up 2 and over 1 right there, okay? And y equals x plus 1, so that's this one, is x equals 2. But that's not true. X does equal 2, right? But it should be x equals 2 and y equals 3. So over here, see, it should be 2 and 3, right? And if you go and check that, you'll see that it's correct. Remember, it's where the 2 points are on the coordinate. So for this one, it would be right here, where x is 2 and y is 3. All right, 22 is for you to do. 23 is mine. You have 40 minutes to exercise at a gym. You want to burn a total of 300 calories using both of these machines. How much time should you spend on each machine? All right, I'm going to make this simple. In system number 1, remember, this is 8 calories a minute. So we're taking 8 times x, okay? On this one over here, it's 60 calories per minute. So this is going to be 6 times y. Now remember, you have 40 minutes to exercise, and you want to burn this many. So you can say that 8 times a minute, right? Plus 6 times however many minutes is going to equal 300. But you can also say you have 40 minutes. So I can say however much time I'm on here, which will be x, plus however much time over here has to equal 40 minutes. And now I can put these as my linear formula. For this one, I start at 40, right? And then remember, when this turns to y equals x plus 40, okay, This is going to, we'll have to subtract x from both sides, right? And that's how we're going to get y is equal to negative x plus 40, all right? We did our work going upward. And as you can see, we're at 40 and we're going down 1 over 1 all the way till we get to 40, okay? On this one, it says we start at, let's see, we're going to have to go ahead and change this one. So y is going to be 1. I'm going to work it down here. If I can find my cursor now. There it is. So if I was to take 8x plus 6y equals 300, I'm going to have to minus x from 8x from both sides. That's going to give me 6y equals negative 8x plus 30. Okay. Actually, this is plus 300. I don't know what I was thinking. All right. And now we've got to divide by 6. This will give me y is equal to, it's like negative 4 over 3x plus, well, I know 30 divided by 6 is 5, so this must be 50. And now you can see why up here they went from 40 to 50. And they went down 4 and over 3 each time. So it was at a steeper slope, right, going down still, because it was a negative. And that reached over here, and they connected at 30 and 10. So they're saying the solution is 30 and 10. Spend 30 minutes on the elliptical machine, trainer, and 10 minutes on the stationary bike. All right, 24 is for you to do. And that's all of our homework. All right, guys, I'll meet you in class for grading. Have a great night, and good luck.